Alright, today we'll continue our phishing emails. Now I'm at the search bar. I've typed in phishing here. Come to the subscription type, free only, then phishing emails in action. Learn the different indicators of phishing attempts by examining actual phishing emails. So we shall be examining actual emails, phishing emails today. Open the link in your tab. As you can see, I've completed this room before, so I'll reset the progress. Then we can start. Now that we've covered the basics concerning phishing emails, let's dive right into actual phishing email samples. Each email sample showcased in this room will demonstrate different tactics used to make the phishing emails look legitimate. The more convincing the phishing email appears, the higher the chances the recipient will click on a malicious link, download and execute the malicious file, or even send the prince of some country a wire transfer. Warning: the samples throughout this room contain sensitive information from actual spam and or phishing emails. Proceed with caution if you attempt to interact with any IP, domain or attachment. So we've completed this. This example is cancel your PayPal order. As common with phishing emails, the email sample in this task will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, URL shortening services, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand. These are the ways that phishing emails imitate to make it look legit. Here are some quick observations about this email sample. So this is the email sample here. For the number one, we can see that this is an unusual email recipient address. If you use your mail very well, I'm sure you won't see anything that looks like this usually. This is not the email address associated with the Yahoo account. Number two, this mismatch should immediately stand out. When you see things like this, you need to be suspicious. The sender's details, service@paypal.com, do not match the sender's email address. These are things you should look out for. Anybody can be targeted for phishing. If gibberish like this nonsense here, assaultandbogor.com. 3. The subject line hints that you made a purchase or transaction of some sort, your receipt for payment to amazing stuff. If you don't recall this account, then it will grab your attention. This social engineering tactic is to prompt you to interact with the email with haste. Now let's look at the contents of the email body. This is the email body. You sent a payment of this amount to amazing stuff. So they need you to, what do they need you to do? They need you to cancel the order. So most likely this is where the malicious link is. So if you didn't make this order, or if you believe an unauthorized person is attempting to access your account, please click the link below to cancel your order. The email body complements the sender information and the subject line. If you need to click on it, then you have a bigger view. So the second half. The email was designed as a legitimate email from PayPal. There aren't any attachments associated with this email. The only interactive element in this email is the cancel the order button or link. Let's investigate that further by reviewing the raw HTML source for the email. In the previous video, we've seen how we can view the raw HTML of emails. However, I just need to be careful when interacting with it. So we can see the raw email, the raw HTML. We see the link that is embedded as cancel the order here. You can see how unusual and very suspicious it looks. The link uses URL shortening services. If you need to know more about URL shortening services, you can Google it. It is not a good idea to click on the link if you don't know where the link is taking you. Luckily, there are online tools that we can use to let us know the destination of a shortened URL. Strange, this link redirects to google.com. Tools to expand shortened URLs will be discussed in the phishing email story room. So we can just come here and type tools to expand shortened. You can see it here. When you click on this, how do you expand a shortened URL? You have different ones there. Very easy. Just right click on a shortened URL and view and select view expanded URL. This is another way to do that. If you really need to know anything, you come to Google, you check it. I'm sure you'll find something. What phrase does the gibberish sender email start with? The email of the gibberish sender, what phrase does it start with? No reply. No reply. You can see it here. No reply. It's very easy to do. This is a very easy room. That's why I started with easy rooms, not to overwhelm you. So I'll take 3 examples today, then we'll do the remaining 3 in the next video. Example 2, track your package. This email example will highlight the following techniques: spoofed email address, pixel tracking, and link manipulation. Here are some quick observations about this email sample. The first one, the email is tailored to appear that it is sent from a mail distribution center of some sorts. Can you see distribution center? contact@beginpro.club. 2. The subject line adds to the pretense with a tracking number. Track your package, and you can see the tracking number. The link in the email body matches the subject line. Track your package is the same thing as this. When you see things like this, it's just link. It's once it's highlights like HTML link address, a web address, it's most likely link. Note, in this email sample, Yahoo blocked the images from automatically loading. Any guess as to why? Can see, for your security, we disabled all images and links in this email. If you believe it is safe to use, mark this message as not spam. You can see it's in the spam folder in Yahoo Mail. Typically, one can over the cursor over a link to see where the link is pointing to. So you can just, normally if you do this, it will bring out the real web address where the link is leading to. But in this sample, that technique won't work because Yahoo disabled links in the email. We can look at the raw source code for the email and find out. This is the raw source code. We can see where it leads to. Track your package. This is where the link leads to. This is the image that was disabled. Here we see an image file, and it is explicitly called tracking.png. These trackers send information back to the spammer server. There are many reasons for spammers to embed tracking pixels, that is very small images, into their spam emails. To read more about this concept, refer to this post on The Verge here. So look at now. Here is a very good example. When we click on this, you can see the real email web address coming up, www.theverge.com. Then we can see email pixel trackers, how to stop images automatic upload and download. So normally once you hover your cursor on it, it should show you the full URL behind that text. Good. Now we can understand why Yahoo automatically blocked the images in this email. Many email providers do the same. Back to the hyperlink. The link is pointing to a shady looking domain here. The only distribution center this domain can be associated with is malware, but further analysis is the only way to confirm that definitely. Question: what is the root domain for each URL? Define the URL. Okay, so this is the root domain. As you can see, http devrate.xyz. That is the URL, the root domain, and we were told to define it. So we are defining devrate.xyz. You can actually do that manually. Devrate, just do this. No, here dot here xyz z. Good. So if you can't do that manually yourself, you can use CyberChef. Just type CyberChef. I've shown you that before, but let's just do it again. Once you come to the GitHub page here, it's going to load. So devret.xyz, a search here, defang URL, bring it here, and it cooks. So it's the same thing. That's how we do that. The third example, select your email provider to view documents. This email sample will highlight the following techniques: urgency, HTML to impersonate a legitimate brand, link manipulation, credential harvesting, poor grammar and or typos. Let's take a closer look. Number 1, the email was sent on Thursday, July 15th, 2021. You can see that. Good. A sense of urgency is introduced in this email. Notice that the link to download the fax document expires on the same day. As you can see, it expires on the same day that it was sent. There is an action to perform. In this case, a button to download the fax. Download document here. So this is when the link was clicked, this was where it brought the user. The above image shows the victim is redirected to a page created to pass as OneDrive. Notice that the URL is not anything Microsoft related. These are the things you can use to know when emails are phishing emails. As you can see, they are claiming to be OneDrive, right? But there is nothing that points to OneDrive here. Absolutely nothing. So by this time, you know that you've clicked the wrong thing. You need to just quickly stop whatever you are doing. There are 2 more links for the victim to interact with. The victim has to click either of the buttons to obtain the fax document that is set to expire. There is a get document link here, and there is a preview fax here. Now, the victim is directed to yet another site. This one was crafted to resemble Adobe. Again, notice the URL. This is claiming to be Adobe Document Cloud. There is nothing about Adobe on the URL. Nice. It doesn't look like it is related to Adobe. Also, notice the page title in the tab. It is called SharePoint Online. Okay, which is a Microsoft product. There are a couple of grammatical errors as well. The victim has options to sign in with the email provider of their choice, as you can see here. Now, let's look at it. Our victim chose to log in with Outlook because, per the instructions, to read the document, please enter with the valid email credentials that this file was sent to. Let's see. Okay, I think I missed that. Anyways, let's continue. The email was viewed in Outlook. In this sample, we can tell that fake credentials were entered, right? But even if the victim would have entered valid credentials, the error message would be the same. This scenario happens because the victim is not really authenticating to an email provider. Instead, the credentials that were entered now reside on the criminal server. The criminal's objective to harvest credentials has been met. So really what happens is that this is a fake login page, but because you didn't know, because the victim does not know, the victim would have entered a valid login credential. That means the email address and the password, which is going to get seed on the server of the attacker, right? The criminal in this case. Now to just tell you invalid credentials and that. So if you're like, okay, maybe it just didn't go, or you'll be wondering what happened. However, your valid credentials has been stored somewhere that can be used for malicious purposes. Lastly, notice more grammatical errors. All this work they put into this, you would think they would run a spell check really, but they don't even have time to do that. They're just in a hurry. Okay, this email sample was obtained from Enron. If you wish to interact with the email and see the full analysis, refer to the link below. This email sample used the names of a few major companies, their products and logos such as OneDrive and Adobe. What other company name was used in this phishing email? So let's go through it again and see. Okay, yeah, Citrix attachments. Okay, let's come here. Submit. Well, we've come to the end of the class for today. If you have you don't actually need to be a professional to detect phishing emails. These are just simple things you can do or you can be aware of to know if an email is malicious or not. If it's giving you an unrealistic sense of urgency, it was sent today and you're asked to do something today, they try to manipulate legitimate, they try to impersonate legitimate brands, and you're having poor grammar or typos, then you know that that email is not for you. It's a malicious mail. Thank you very much. Bye.